What's going on, everybody? It's the Bulls Show, aka Aiden, and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, through all obstacles, everything in between, the Bulls finally managed to pick up a win in this NBA season after a 4-game losing streak. A lot of them recently as well. The Bulls managed to win this game. Now, all things considered, this isn't the best Miami Heat side. No Jimmy Butler, no Kyle Lowry, a lot of other guys out as well for them. And the Bulls capitalized on that, as they should. And considering the fact that we recently dropped 150 points to the Minnesota Timberwolves with no Karl Anthony Towns and no Rudy Gobert, look, this game was definitely not a guarantee to win no matter who was going to be out for the Miami Heat. So I am thankful that the Bulls walked away with a win in this game. And ultimately, I'm just happy to finally see my Bulls team play well. Even if in the whole grand scheme of things, it doesn't mean that much. Maybe it is something that we can look at. I'm not really sure. But we'll talk about this game more in detail in this video. Before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Bulls Show. Turn notifications on. And let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls overall game today. Who was your player of the game and your thoughts and opinions on how the game actually went. We won this game 113 to 103. And I'm not going to lie. In that second quarter, I was really thinking we're really going to see the exact same thing every single time, where the Bulls give up a big lead from the first quarter to the second quarter, and then they won't be able to fight back. But you got to give credit to this team. Their defensive energy was much better in this game. Miami were a better three-point shooting team compared to the Timberwolves. So I'm thinking to myself, if we brought that same defensive energy against the Timberwolves, we might have had something to say in that game. It would be a little bit more competitive. But we brought our defensive energy. We brought a response, really, in this game against Miami, because the Bulls needed to respond after that defensive display. And that's exactly what they did. Miami didn't have their star power. They didn't really have their best team. And again, you're relying on Tyler Hero to really have a great game if they're going to walk away with a win here. And the Bulls did what they were supposed to do. They played solid defense. Their offense was really good as well. And we walked away with a win. It's a simple win for the Chicago Bulls in many ways. They went back to basics, and the basics worked for them. The big three had a very efficient and great night, all three of them together, which is something you don't often see on the offensive end and even on the defensive end as well. Zach LaVine, very solid playmaking night for him, and he can do that on occasion, but when he's getting 7 assists out there and who's really looking for other players, it is something that is going to help this team. Vucevic in the post, in the paint, small ball lineup with that Miami Heat side. Bam Adebayo, it's a small ball center. They didn't really play a lot of Dwayne Dedmon in this game from my knowledge, and Vucevic went to work, as he should, and he got a very good game today. And then DeMar DeRozan just basically having a typical DeMar DeRozan night for his standards. So all big three played very well, and that's an easy win for the Chicago Bulls, one that you got to take in your stride. And again, considering the losses that we've suffered, Atlanta, no Murray, no Collins, we lost that game. Knicks with no Obi Toppin, we lost both of those games. This game, the Minnesota game, no Towns, no Gobert, and a couple of other guys as well was out for them, and we lost that game. So again, this was no guarantee. Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, Bam Adebayo, again, that team could definitely be dangerous if the Bulls brought a very lackluster energy in this game. So I will give credit to the Bulls for that. I'm just happy to see a win, man. After so many losing performances, again, we were 11 and 18 coming into this game. I think I saw the Bulls and Stacey King and all them saying that we're not that far away from, I guess, other teams. When I'm looking at the standings, we are far away from the other teams, in all honesty. That's how I see it, because even teams that are around 9th are about 15 and 16 on their record, or 16 and 15 when you move a little bit up. And yes, maybe in those standings it's not a lot, but the Bulls are 11 and 18. They're now 12 and 18. So we are far away, and it's going to take a big climb for the Bulls to really get to that level where we are competing with those teams. And the more losses that you see, the further away that we will get. So this win might be important. Ultimately, we'll have to wait and see how we can do in the next time out and the next time out, and let's see if it can be a consistent run of form. But judging on how the Bulls have played, and judging by how they've had good performances and they've let us down in the past, I'm going to bet on the Bulls disappointing very soon, in my opinion. That's my personal opinion. I would love to be optimistic about this Bulls team, especially after a win, but I've seen this too many times for me to fall for the same trap all over again. So I'm going to have my awareness. I'm going to be aware of this team. I'm going to not give my hopes up on this team this time around. Let's see what they do against Atlanta, and let's see what they do against the Knicks, and then we'll move on from that situation and see how they could do in the future. But it is a good win, and it's a win you have to take. In all these situations, I'd much rather win the game than lose the game. For those people that are saying, yes, we did lose to a weakened Miami Heat side, are we supposed to lose to them? Is that meant to bring a message? I would much rather win this type of game and have people complain we didn't verse the best Miami Heat side, which is true, compared to us losing to a weakened Miami Heat side and everybody complaining once again. So I'll take this win, ladies and gentlemen, and ultimately I'm just very happy to finally see this Bulls team back on the win column. With all that being said, we finally get an opportunity as well to look at the individual performances. So let's get further into that, starting off with DeMar DeRozan, 24 points, 5 rebounds and 5 assists in today's game. Again, a very standard DeMar DeRozan performance. There are a couple of times where he did kind of hold up the play a bit too long, not making the right passes and stuff like that, which is something, again, very typical DeMar DeRozan game. But to his standards, 24 points, about right for DeMar DeRozan, 5 assists, about right for DeMar DeRozan. And yeah, I don't think he was necessarily the one always letting us down. I think his style of play lets us down more than his actual ability, but his ability has always been there. And again, I don't think anyone can argue that he is a terrific player. It's just really about the style of play and how this team should be playing compared to how DeMar DeRozan plays. That's always been the biggest issue for this team. Patrick Williams, 6 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, and 1 steal. I feel like he had a lot of turnovers in this game. Correct me if I'm wrong as well. And look, this is not the best Patrick Williams performance, but 4 assists for Patrick Williams. I'm very, very happy with that. He's not a guy that often gets a lot of assists on the night, but he did show up in that style as well. And maybe there is something there that we can further develop, but knowing this Bulls team, development is far, far away for Patrick Williams. So again, we'll have to wait and see what he could do in the future games, but very, very good assist night for Patrick Williams. He moved the ball, he made a couple of very good plays offensively, and he did his job in terms of playmaking. You can't really ask much more for that. Nikola Vucevic, 29 points, 12 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal on the night. And again, when there are small ball lineups like Miami played today, Vucevic should be the guy, should be the go-to guy. In my opinion, when you see teams like, for example, when we've won both of the games against Boston and we lost one as well, teams against Miami, all the teams that play small ball in this league, Vucevic should be the number 1 option on the team. He should be taking the most shots, he should be in the post at all times, and he should be the one where, again, there was a really nice play as well when he was really just making everything you could possibly ask from him, and they instantly double-teamed him. And you know what he did? He passed the ball out to LaVine. LaVine, very good IQ this time around, knows, okay, there's a double there, move it to the other side of the court. He dribbles in, he passes it to the other side. Easy corner shot for Patrick Williams. 3-point shot, done. Good basketball, simple as that. Basketball, it could really be as simple as that. When Vooch is getting double teamed, that means there's always somebody else open. And Zach LaVine, when he got the ball from Vucevic, found the open man. And you're breaking down opponents' defense. You're collapsing them in many ways. And that's exactly what the Bulls should be doing every single game. So that's one thing that I hope we continue to do in the next time out against Atlanta. Moving into Alex Caruso, 7 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals on the night. Very, very good night from Alex Caruso. And I really feel like when Alex Caruso is out of this team, our defensive, I guess, energy and our ability to play defense instantly drops. Like, I really feel like if we get rid of Alex Caruso, if for whatever reason we decide to trade him, our defensive rating, our defensive style as a team will be one of the lowest in the league. I really, really feel that. As soon as he went out of the game, Tyler Hero erupted for his points, and most of his points came when Alex Caruso was not on the court. That's from my perspective. Again, very, very good night for Alex Caruso. He's not a guy that's going to be dropping 20 points every single night, but when you're getting 7 and 6 from your starting point guard alongside of 3 steals and 3 assists, very, very good, very solid night from Alex Caruso, and you love to see it. Moving into Coby White, 14 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist on the night, 3 from 10 overall. With Coby White, what I liked about his game today, he didn't have the best scoring night, 30%, not the worst thing in the world. He had a good, I think he played fairly well from the three-point line, 3 from 8 overall. With Coby White, it was his hustle, man. Again, there was a certain player on the court where he went for a layup, arguably got fouled in my eyes, but nevertheless, it was not called. And this man hustled all the way back from being on the floor, and he forces a bad pass in which Zach LaVine gets a steal. That's incredible defense from Coby White, incredible hustle as well, and it led to a fast break opportunity in which Patrick Williams got the foul call. So again, hustle plays, really, again, I think Coby White is one of the hardest working players on the team. I've said it ever since he's come into the NBA. People have always praised his work ethic, and when you're training with guys like Chris Paul, work ethic is not going to be an issue for Coby White. And again, not an issue in today's game. Not have been an issue his entire career. One thing we can say about Coby White, yes, he's inconsistent. Yes, he's not the best defender. Sometimes he can be a liability on that end. This season he hasn't been, but that's been an excuse before. No one has ever said Coby White's not a hard worker. And in this game, he shows exactly why he is a hard worker. And those plays, those effort plays, those defensive plays that he's bringing to this Bulls team this season is the reason why he's playing on the court today. So congratulations to Coby White. Is it the best game from him? 14 points. I'll take that any day of the week for Coby White. Efficiency can be a bit better, but that's just nitpicking. Very, very good night on both ends of the floor in my eyes. Derrick Jones Jr., 2 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists on the night as well. 1 from 2 from the field. And yeah, in terms of Derrick Jones, I think he got injured in this game actually. So hopefully that's not a big thing for the Chicago Bulls. Hopefully it will not be. With Derrick Jones, all I could say is that there are certain nights where he can drop double-digit points, great rebounding and everything like that. And there are other nights where he can have, let's just say, a smaller night, but he's still making an impact in some ways. So they're got to give his credit as well. Again, I think our bench played very well. Goran Dragic, 8 points and 2 rebounds. No assists for Goran Dragic. That's relatively surprising, but played around 20 minutes in this game. I would say it's an okay night for Goran Dragic as well. And then Andre Drummond, he had 1 point in this game, as well as Ayo Dosunmu, who also had 1 point in this game and 1 steal. With Ayo, I'm assuming this is a minutes restriction thing a little bit more than anything else. Again, I know he was cleared to play more than 20 minutes, but I still feel like this Bulls, at least Billy Donovan at least, wants to, I guess, conserve him a little bit more and not necessarily let him play 30 minutes a night after, obviously, his recent injury. That's personally why I think he's playing a lot less this time around, and I think sooner than later you will see Ayo play a little bit more games or a little bit more minutes. And Andre Drummond, I have no clue. I think Billy Donovan is still prioritizing small ball over anything else, and the fact that Andre Drummond missed, I believe, 2 games, or it could have just been 1 game, and barely played in this time out. I don't know what the situation is with Andre Drummond, but again, if we're just going to be wasting people's time in terms of bringing him in as a big center, everybody knows we were crying out for a center last season, and we finally got one this year. If we're going to waste his time, I feel like we should trade Andre Drummond. It's as simple as that. What's the point in keeping him here if you're not going to play him? And I don't know why we're consisting on small ball, but if you really desire small ball, if small ball is your 100% future and that's the way you want to go, then trade Andre Drummond for a small ball center and try to see what you could do from there. I'm so sick of wasting some of these players' times. There's so many people on this team that simply just don't get any minutes, and they're wasting roster spots first and foremost, but they're also wasting their time here. Andre Drummond is not a developmental case. He's not going to be a guy we send into the G League to improve. He's a 28, 29-year-old veteran that is a very good backup center, and most teams would kill for a center like Andre Drummond as their backup. If we're wasting his time, then please just trade him, and let's just see what we could do with somebody else. Let's not waste his time. Either play him or trade him. Simple as that in my eyes. I hate the fact that Andre Drummond is not playing any minutes right now. So, yep, that's all I've got to say in that retrospect, ladies and gentlemen. That's all the individual performances I have to talk about today. The must improve for me, it's a bit of a hard one considering I feel like a lot of people did play very well in this timeout. If I had to pick, it might be harsh to really say this, but I would probably pick Patrick Williams for his turnovers. That's really about it. I actually want to see how many turnovers Patrick Williams had, so bear with me for a second, ladies and gentlemen. He had 3 turnovers. To be fair, a couple of other guys also had 3 turnovers, so I probably won't even give it to Patrick Williams. I'll just leave it as, I guess, no one is in the must improve. I feel like Derrick Jones, statistically wise, would be the one to give it to, but this is something we see from Derrick Jones Jr. on a constant basis, so I'm not really going to give it to him. The player of the game for me is easily Nikola Vucevic. I think Zach LaVine is someone, again, we give all the credit in the world when these guys play well. Zach LaVine played a great game today. Yes, he didn't drop 28 points, but he had 7 assists, was very, very focused on playmaking and facilitating, and he's got his buckets when he needed to get it. Not everything about Zach LaVine has to be revolved around scoring. And I think when Zach LaVine realizes that a little bit more, we might see a better version of him. We don't need Zach LaVine to drop 30 every single night. Yes, he's a scorer, and some games we will need it. It's as simple as that. When this team is stagnant on offense and we're relying on 2 people to score, then you need those 2 people to drop 30, 40 points. It's as simple as that, really, if you're going to walk away with wins. But when the ball is moving like that, Zach LaVine facilitating, that's a very good night for him as well. You can't really take anything away from him. But Vucevic, all night long in the paint, rebounding, defense. Again, I expected this big 3 to respond from how they played from last game to this game, and I'm very happy that they did. But we also got to remember, this is just one game. Let's not get carried away. Let's not say the Bulls have found their turning point. Let's not say the Bulls are going to get back to the top of the East or anything like that. But it's a game that we've won. We'll move on into the next one against Atlanta. It's a back-to-back night. The Bulls' record is 12-18 now, I believe. So it's 6 games below 500. We'll see what happens against Atlanta. We'll see what happens against the Knicks. Those are the next 2 games we've got to focus on, and we've got to pick up wins in both of those games. But Atlanta, I believe they'll have Clint Capella out, but they'll have John Collins most likely, and they'll have DeJounte Murray. So again, a much dangerous team with those 2 players in the lineup. With the Knicks, I'm not sure how the Knicks are going to be playing. I'm assuming it's going to be a very similar team. But, of course, they beat us twice. They know how to beat this Bulls team, and they know how to do it convincingly as well. Those are the 2 games that I'm going to be looking at to see whether or not this team can really remain consistent on the defensive and offensive end of the floor. Who knows? Time will tell. But again, it's always good to see a Bulls win and enjoy it while it's here, because there's not many of them that we get to see. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. Have a wonderful and safe day, Bulls Nation. Enjoy the win, and we'll see what happens in the next time out. Again, we've got another game against Atlanta coming up. We'll see what happens there. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned for more. Take care.